Hi, and welcome to one more video about our 8-on-8 soccer team focus. This is a video about the goalie position, and how it fits into our overall strategy and some of the best practices that we see out there. Now, the goalie position is the only one in soccer that has a special set of rules, and we're going to go over the most important of those that we need to know in youth soccer. And we'll start with 3 pages of that. First and foremost, the goalie, of course, can catch or pick up the ball in the penalty area with his or her hands. They can use their feet, they can use their arms, they can use their head, they can use any part of their body in the penalty area. But most importantly, they can catch or pick the ball up. And there's only one time when they can't do that, and that's the case when it was passed to them by a teammate. So if you're playing goal and a teammate passes the ball to you in the penalty area, you are prohibited from picking that up. You have to use your feet to receive and kick that forward. If you do pick it up, then it becomes an infraction, and the other team will get a free kick from that position. So try not to do that. Now, once a goalie picks up the ball, she can run to any spot in the penalty area, and then has 6 seconds to kick or punt or throw or roll the ball to advance the ball to a teammate. Also, within those 6 seconds, goalie has the option of dropping the ball to her feet and then being able to dribble or kick the ball accordingly. So there is a limitation of the time the goalie has to make that decision. Now, while the goalie is holding the ball, no defender can approach her. We use the same 10-yard rule, more or less, that we have for all of our stoppage situations, like throw-ins or corner kicks or goal kicks. Same holds true here. No one can approach the goalie while she's holding the ball. If the goalie drops the ball to his or her feet and 6 seconds are up and the goalie can then dribble, then she can't pick it up again. And at that point, when the ball is at the goalie's feet, she's treated like any other player, and that 10-yard rule is no longer in effect, which means that other defenders or defenders in general can attack the goalie or approach the goalie like any other player. And the final set of rules for goalies are that the goalie can dribble the ball out of the penalty area. So the goalie can catch the ball, run it to the front, put the ball at her feet, and continue upfield. That happens a bit in the pro game with some famous goalies like Jorge Campos, but we don't really see that in youth soccer, and we're not asking that you do that. The goalie can also leave the penalty area to pursue a free ball. So if a ball is kicked way downfield, and the goalie is by far the closest player to that, she can go out and retrieve it and kick it forward and then get back into the penalty area. But you have to keep in mind that once the goalie leaves the penalty area, she's treated like any other player. She cannot use her hands and has no special rights or privileges that the goalie normally has. So those are the rules that affect how goalie play is, or the goalie position works. There can only be one goalie at a time, and she'll be wearing a different colored jersey so we can identify her. Let's talk a bit about the best practices of defending in goal. And one of the most important is knowing how to cut down the angles to make it harder for a shooter to score. And a simple way to think of that is, we want to be right in the middle of where a shooter may want to place the ball and make it harder for them. They give them just a small angle on the right and a small angle on the left of the goalie to score. If you think that there's a piece of a large circle that goes from just outside the goal mouth to about halfway up the small area here, you can see this circle. The goalie sits typically on that line, and if we had a point, make-believe point right in the middle of the goal mouth at the entrance of the goal, and from that point had a string that went to the shooter, the goalie should be on that line. So over here, as you can see, we've got a shooter with a very difficult angle at the far left, just outside the box. Goalie should be right on the line there, making it, leaving about as much angular space to score on her left as she does on her right, and so on and so forth. So the first thing is, from a goalie's defense point of view, is that they want to cut down or make the angle as difficult as possible. There are times as well when the goalie should attack the attacker, that the goalie should come out from this area near the goal and really run out and force the attacker to do something. And that typically happens when there's an attacker in the penalty area and a defender really isn't making a difference. There's maybe it's a breakaway and the attacker's by herself, or maybe a defender falls down in the area and the attacker's approaching the goal. As soon as that attacker enters the shooter or potential shooter enters the penalty area alone, the goalie should run out and meet that person and try to force them to move hopefully away from the center of the field. It's a deny tactic, just like we do in defense to keep people out of our danger zone. When a goalie is all alone with an attacker, she should be doing a very similar thing. Now, after making a save, goalie's job is pretty simple. They want to get the ball out quickly, and they want to get the ball out up the side. A lot of people try to do that directly from the goal. We recommend that the goalie run first the ball to the top of the penalty area, that the goalie not roll or kick from deep within the penalty area, but actually run out before she makes her kick or her roll or her throw. For many of our youth players, it's easier actually to roll the ball or throw the ball than it is to kick the ball or punt the ball forward. So that's obviously an option, especially on shorter passes. Rolling and passing the ball is typically much more preferential at this stage than punting the ball. The main issue here, though, is that the goalie really shouldn't put the ball in the middle of the field. The danger zone is in the middle of the field, and as we say, whenever defense has the ball, we want to work up the sides, and the goalie is going to do that as well. And a great way to think of this is that we want to treat exit passes the same way we do goal kicks. So if you've seen the video on goal kicks and what we do after the ball exits the end line, we want to do something very similar. There are only two differences, in that one, the goalie, instead of having to place the ball on the smaller area within the penalty box, can actually run the ball all the way up to the top of the area. And if we want to go in a different direction, the goalie can run, frankly, over to the other side of the penalty box before releasing the ball. But in any case, the same holds true. If you went back and looked at the goal kicks video, we have the same alignment of our offense here in terms of where our forwards, midfielders, and goalie reside. But also, what you can see here is that we have the ABC focus in place, and where our first play is A is a longer release attack. Again, it could be thrown or kicked. B is a shorter pass to the strong side, which immediately would move up the side, and then C would be back across to the other side of the box and up. So that's pretty much the basics of the goalie position and how it relates to our 8-on-8 playing. If you haven't seen the other videos yet, please do so. They'll be very enlightening, hopefully, as well. And we will be going over goalie skills with pretty much all the girls in practice, and most everyone will have a chance to play in goal during the season. That's it. Hope you have a great day, and look forward to seeing you at practice.